And welcome everybody to the Gold and Silver Club weekly commodities review for the 31st of July 2015, presented by myself, Phil Carr, at the Gold and Silver Club. So today we will be reviewing the latest developments in the commodities markets. We'll be analysing the week's performance. The live session will be covering an overview of the commodities. We'll be looking at the top trades of the week. We'll cover live market commentary, technical analysis. If you do have any questions at all or any comments, please do put those in the chat and we'll go through those during today's session as well. Lots to cover. So first of all, before we get started today, let me introduce you to the Gold and Silver Club. The Gold and Silver Club is an international commodities trading, research and advisory group. We specialise in the precious metals, the energies, the agricultural markets. We are recognised as the leading go-to authority on commodities. So as internationally respected experts, our analysis, our opinions on the metals, the energies, the agricultural markets, they're routinely sought by major financial television channels and publications, including Bloomberg, Reuters, CNN, Global Banking and Finance Review, The Wall Street Journal. Our team of experts has advised and taught technical analysis, fundamental research, portfolio management to more than 75,000 private and institutional clients worldwide. So for further information on the Gold and Silver Club and our expertise, please do visit us on www.thegoldandsilverclub.com. So that's a bit of background on the Gold and Silver Club. Now we move over and have a look at gold at the moment, looking very interesting. We're currently trading at $1,081 per ounce, just about $10 shy here of the 5.5-year lows on gold, sitting around the 1,070 level. So we'll take a look at this very shortly on the technicals. It is also the last trading day of the month in July today, and I'll talk through that a little bit more detail when we go on to the technicals. So first of all, before we go on to the live markets, we'll just do a quick review of the top trades of the week using the Gold and Silver Club signature trading strategies. So first of all, we've had a lovely sell short opportunity on coffee, which we discussed with you all just last week, where we came back up to a major resistance zone. We sold as we came and retested that, found rejection, and we've come all the way back down to the lower end of the support zone. Now we've got a 75-point gain here on coffee. Coffee is also traded at 3.75 times leverage, so 75 points actually works out to the equivalent of a lot more, just shy of about 300 points that we've made in terms of the leverage on coffee here. So really nice trade to the lower end of the trend line. WTI crude oil, really beautiful sell short that we've had on over the week. You needed to be a bit patient with this and let it play out. We've allowed that to play out over 4 days as it continued to break down, and we've banked 359 points profit on light sweet crude oil, which was lovely, and also Brent crude oil on the tighter time frames. We had a lovely 350 point move, which took about 3 or 4 days just to come down and hit our profit target. So oil has been great over the last week or so, and we're just getting ready now for some big opportunities on the precious metals as we move into August now. But I hope you caught some of these moves which we highlighted on last week's session as well. Okay, so let's move over to the technical analysis. We'll start off here. We'll just have a look, first of all, at we'll look at oil actually first. You can see we're just on copper here. We'll go over to oil first because we've had a nice sell short. Another opportunity to get back in actually just earlier on today. So I'm just currently on light sweet crude oil. You can see we had a rally. We actually came up, we consolidated just yesterday again. So we had a nice rally to the upside, consolidated, and we've broken back down again. So we're currently in this sell short actually. We're up about 75 points at the moment. You can see nice clear rejection from a resistance zone. We've just broken down this morning and we're looking for probably just coming back down to support here. So looking for about another 75 points or so in this light sweet crude oil sell short at the moment. So oil, I favour more downside in the short term, certainly for the rest of the day. The overall sentiment here looks good for more downside. Very similar situation also with Brent crude oil, both very strongly correlated. We've seen a little bit of a rally to the upside today, some profit taking after we've had this tremendous sell, this large sell short opportunity, and then we've just come back down again, found rejection on the daily time frame. The low's been broken. We're just slowly coming back down to support. If we do break through support again, which you can see is just sitting at the weekly lows here. If we do break through that zone, we're then likely to just follow through probably about another 200 points or so. It may happen today or as we come into next week, but I do like oil. It's looking pretty weak at the moment, so it's looking good for some more downside, certainly in the short term. You can also trade that correlation just through copper. Copper and oil very strongly correlated. You can see we've also got a sell short on copper at the moment, which we'll update you on next week once that hits profit. Our profit target, you can see we've essentially come back up towards the upper end of the resistance channel, formed a rejection candle, started to break below that rejection candle just yesterday, and we're looking looks quite weak today as well, so we're just going to stay in our copper sell short as well and take advantage of a potential move back down to the weekly support here and coming back down towards 3-year lows here as well for copper. So oil and copper looking very weak just this morning. We'll move over, we'll have a look actually, just have a look at the grains, then we'll go over and have a look also at the precious metals. So we mentioned this last week. We're essentially coffee has been great. It's just been ricocheting between support and resistance here, going all the way back to March. The best part of 3 months, it's just coming up to resistance, selling back down to support. This is a very strong. So it's just a case of selling at resistance, buying at support, selling at resistance, and this has been going on for quite some time now. We're getting another bounce off the lower end of the trend line. Looks like we're heading back up to resistance here. We're just taking profit on our sell short. We'll probably get a pop back up to resistance, and if we get the same thing happen again, we can look to take a sell short again. So we'll keep an eye on that for coffee, but coffee has really delivered very nicely over the last couple of months. In so many opportunities just to trade within this channel. So we'll move over. We'll just have a look at also wheat. We came down, we hit our profit target on wheat earlier on this week. This whole breakdown, big V-shaped reversal pattern has also formed here as well. We are sitting a little bit of a support zone right now, so you can see where we're getting a bounce off this major support zone at the moment for wheat. So I want to see whether that breaks or whether we get supported as we go into next week. We do have an overhead channel where we could potentially get a bit of a move. It is also the last day of the month today. So what you can often see is trend changes at the beginning of a month. Particularly August tends to be a stronger month for commodities overall. So this could be a point. We typically tend to bottom out a lot of commodities over July. If we do see this is a bottom short-term low here, we could get quite a nice retracement and a rotation back up towards resistance here. So we'll look out for that on wheat. Also, very similar situation just here on corn as well. Follows wheat quite well. Had a really nice breakdown. You can see great V-shaped reversal pattern, which has followed through immensely here just on corn. Now we're just coming up to a supportive channel, nice little bounce, building a bit of a consolidation. Potentially again here, we may rotate back towards the upper end of this channel here. We could probably just draw that in. You could see where we've got correlation here. We've got a parallel channel here, previous resistance, and we might have a rotation back towards the upper end of this channel. So I do see some good opportunities coming into the grains as we go into next week. Soybeans has already started to build up some momentum. We broke through the supportive neckline here just last week, broken down really well. Again, bit of support just at the lower end of this trend line, where again we may just get another bounce and rotate back higher again as we go into August. So we're monitoring that for an additional setup. So grains I'm liking for some potentially lucrative setups as we go into next week. Now the next markets we'll have a look at here are the precious metals, and we can see we've got across the board, we've got pennants at the moment. So there's been ultimately a lot of indecision. We've got this on palladium at the moment, the price structure getting tighter and tighter. Now we have broken down a little bit just this morning. I would be a little bit careful around the metals at the moment as we go into next week, because it's the first, being Monday is the first day of the new month in August, Monday the 3rd. We could start to see some fresh money coming into the market. Some cash which has been sitting on the sidelines might start to get injected into the market from next week onwards, particularly commodities around these very low levels. So we are looking to see how this structure is going to develop over the course of today. We may get a little bit further breakdown. Ultimately, we want to take out these mother candles to really start building up the momentum to the downside. We may well do that today, or we'll just continue to consolidate. We are starting to break the low of the pennant though with palladium. Similar situation with platinum as well. It's been quite tight here, the overall price structure. I really want to see how this bodes during the US session today. Silver as well, being fairly choppy. It does look like it's building a base. You mentioned this before. You've got a major trend channel going all the way back to 2003, bounced in 2008, and we're supported around that level just at the moment. So we'll continue to watch that. We're just tending to consolidate around these current levels. So Really want to see how silver does as we go into August next week. And also gold, nice pennant formation on gold. We've taken out yesterday's low, but we're still being supported just by the lower end of this trend channel. You can see this where we're getting lower highs but higher lows as well as we build up a little bit of a base here. So ultimately, if we do take out the mother candle low, the low that we put in last week on the big huge sell-off where we saw 600-point move over the Asia Pacific session, just going back to last Monday, if we do see that mother candle, the low get taken out, we're probably going to get another shakeout. But if it holds around the current levels, we may start to build up for a breakout, short-term breakout to the upside as we go into next week. And we do, of course, have non-farm payroll next Friday as well. In fact, let me talk you through that. So in terms of the technicals, those are the main points we want to cover today. I would really keep an eye on the downward momentum today with oil. We've got some sell shorts on oil at the moment and also copper. And then you can just keep an eye on the precious metals as we go into the US session this afternoon, and definitely the grains from next week. Wheat, corn and soybeans look good for some potential rotations back towards their resistance. Okay, so those are some major plays that we're going to be looking at over the next a couple of days, and as we go into August just next week as well. So let me just talk you through that. So next Friday is going to be the big one. We've got the non-farm payroll. So for those of you who might have recalled last year's non-farm payroll in August, we saw a huge breakout on the precious metals, particularly the gold market broke out to the upside over 250 points. So essentially we'll be trading this, we're doing this live at the Gold and Silver Club with all of our traders, and we'll cover the live analysis, live trading ideas, live support. We'll go through all the technical levels that we're looking at, the entries, exit, the take profit. Now, there is an opportunity to actually join us for that. Enrollment will be next Monday. If you do want to trade non-farm payroll next Friday, very lucrative. We are doing an enrollment next Monday, the 3rd of August. It will be by application only. We've got limited places available for that. We will want to get you set up with everything just prior to the announcement on Friday. So very simply, if you would like to join the Gold and Silver Club for that, for trading the non-farm payroll next Friday, all you need to do is you just want to go to www.jointhegoldensilverclub.com. Let me just put that in there for you. Okay, so it's www.jointhegoldensilverclub.com, and very simply you will have the following form which will take you less than a minute just to complete, and once that is completed we'll get in touch with you ASAP just about the enrollment next week prior to next week's non-farm payroll. Okay, so do take advantage of that. It's limited time. We've not got a lot of time to get you. We've not got many places left, and we want to get that set up ASAP for Friday's non-farm payroll. Now, August traditionally is a very, very lucrative month for the commodities. You really don't want to miss some of the moves. We've just been doing some webinars this week on the big opportunities that we see coming into August. You can catch some replays of that if you actually if you email us directly, office@thegoldensilverclub.com. But we do see some really lucrative opportunities as we're coming into August now, particularly given the current levels of a lot of commodities. Okay, so once you do that, you fill in the application form, we'll get in touch with you ASAP, and of course we look forward to welcoming you to the Gold and Silver Club. Okay, perfect. Right, so with that, guys, that is the end of today's session. So I wish you all a profitable afternoon today. I look forward to hear from those of you who'd like to join us for non-farm payroll next week, and have a great weekend. And thank you to Adinda and the team for hosting today's session. Okay, so take care, everybody, and we'll definitely see you on the next one. Okay, cheers, guys. Bye-bye.